Colin Kaepernick, leader of the perilous fight against the national anthem and minority murdering police officers, is back in action. After his team's miserable 1-4 start to the season, head coach Chip Kelly has turned to the controversial Kaepernick to take back the reins of the struggling offense. "We're going to make a move at quarterback, and we're going to start Colin this week," Kelly announced in a news conference Tuesday. "We're going to give him an opportunity to run with the ones. I believe you've got to do it at the beginning of the week just because of how reps are distributed." The 49ers started the season off with a dominating win over the Los Angeles Rams, but have since lost 4 games in a row. The team's passing game ranks near the bottom in the league, while QB Blaine Gabbert has managed to score only a 69.6 quarterback rating, which, as NBC points out, ranks 30th in the league. "We've had a couple of days to digest everything from where we are, and I think offensively we need to be better and just make a move," Kelly said. "It's not Blaine's fault. I think as a group, offensively, we need to be better in a lot of ways." Kaepernick, who was benched in November 2015, has remained in the headlines since the preseason, when he first refused to stand for the national anthem as a protest against a country that he says oppresses black people and turns a blind eye while racist police murder minorities. "I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color," the quarterback told Steve Wyche of NFL Media in August. "To me, this is bigger than football and it would be selfish on my part to look the other way. There are bodies in the street and people getting paid leave and getting away with murder." His protest caught on with a few dozen other players in the NFL and has even spread to other sports. Despite shutting down more innocuous forms of personal expression among players, the NFL has stood by Kaepernick et al., while ESPN has consistently promoted the Kaepernick story on its many platforms. Meanwhile, the NFL's ratings continue to tank in eye-raising fashion. With nearly a third of NFL fans saying they are less likely to watch because of the anthem protests, it will be interesting to see what happens to viewership with Kaepernick back in action. The NFL is in the midst of a significant, self-inflicted PR problem. The numbers from Week 4 are in and there's no reasonable way to explain the dramatic overall decline in viewership without admitting that the league's hypocritical choice to stand behind the national anthem protests has turned off a large percentage of viewers. While the NFL fines players for harmless celebrations and blocks them from wearing patriotic cleats in memory of 9/11, it has all but officially endorsed the racially charged, anti-police anthem movement led by Colin Kaepernick and more than 60 other players. The predictable result, a #boycott NFL movement that continues to grow and an over 5% decline in viewership. Monday's game was down a whopping 8% from last year's Week 4 game, grabbing only a 9.1 rating. As Forbes' Brandon Katz explains, even when online viewership is included, the numbers are down, while the number of streaming viewers has increased. Last night's game attracted 262,000 average minutes viewers on digital platforms, a 23% increase from last year. Total viewership is still trending downward. The Daily Wire highlighted last week that over the first 3 weeks the NFL saw its ratings down dramatically across the board on nearly every network, with 2 MNF games hitting lows not seen in years. Sporting News contributor Kaepernick provided a breakdown of the troubling numbers. The NFL kickoff game on NBC was down from a year ago, and the Week 3 Sunday Night Football telecast between major markets Dallas and Chicago was down 7% from 2015, Denver-Detroit. That's pretty significant when you consider the market sizes. We also have seen the 2 lowest rated Monday Night Football telecasts since at least 2009, which includes a Week 2 snoozer between Philadelphia and Chicago. The Week 3 contest between Atlanta and New Orleans drew a 5.7 overnight rating, which would be the lowest MNF rating ever on ESPN. The number is down 36% from 1 year ago, with much of that due to the first mudslinging presidential debate. That #boycott NFL would have a significant impact on viewership should not come as a surprise to the NFL. During the opening week, Yahoo Sports' survey of 1,128 Americans found that the national anthem protest was a major turnoff for a large percentage of NFL fans. Far more NFL fans opposed the players' choice to disrespect the flag than supported it, while 44% of fans said they would stop watching the NFL if the demonstrations continued. While no one would expect that high a percentage to actually boycott the league, the 7 to 8% decline in the first 4 weeks seems about